A neighborhood tour of Holyoke, Massachusetts. This is the Rock Valley with borders on the Homestead neighborhood, and it borders on communities West Springfield, Westfield, and it borders to the north more other communities or neighborhoods within Holyoke. It's the biggest geographic one. On the left-hand side is Ashley Reservoir, and then also on the left-hand side is Clear Reservoir, and then also very soon on is the McLean Reservoir. And we're gonna take a right up here and go onto Rock Valley Road and Appermont Highway. This road was not cut through here until the 1930s. You can see why. You really have to blast through a dynamite at one time. And it's a very pleasant neighborhood, but you have to go over the eastbound and towards Mount Tom to see most of it. And Holyoke has a backbone of those two mounts, Mount Tom and East Mountain. So we're going to take this right here onto Appermont Highway. And here's one of many, many water locations for the Holyoke Reservoir system. Now, you're going to see some oldest homes in here. The oldest house of all in Holyoke is out here from 1761. Back even before it didn't even belong to West Springfield, it belonged to Springfield. So that house is older than Holyoke, West Springfield, and it was one of the oldest houses in Springfield. It was owned by the Ludington family. Now the streets are winding and they're convoluted, and so you have to get used to it if you ever drive out here. Old Rock Valley Road is on the left. Appermont Highway continues this way, goes back out to Route 202, which we were just on, and it goes down to Hampton Ponds. But we're going to cut to the right, and on the right hand side will be a lot of more of the homes. It'll also be a cemetery. There's a couple of parks. There used to be an old school out here. And I've talked to some people that said, oh, my mother went to school out here back when they had a Rock Valley school. You can see one of the older homes in front of us. Past the mountain road on our right hand side. That's a very long road. It goes into Route 141 eventually. Okay, there's a house on the left, right here, 467. That's the oldest house in Holyoke from the year 1761. Can you believe it? It's very well taken care of. Most people don't know it's here. Most people would say Holyoke doesn't have old homes. It does. It has 20 homes older than 1820. I've counted them. And yes, those are the ones on the left. So we're coming up to what most people think of Rock Valley Road, where all the population is. And we're coming up to a cemetery. I've helped clear out this cemetery. I've given tours in the cemetery. You can imagine how easy to give a tour here. Everyone's old in this cemetery. Every stone in the cemetery is extremely old. And we'll pass by for a second. So off to your right hand side, you see the old Rock Valley Cemetery. All right, it used to be called the Ludington Family Cemetery. And nowadays they share it, so it's everyone that used to live in Rock Valley is buried there. preacher called Levi Perkins is buried there. He went off to Iran. He had 7 children, and 6 of them died in Iran. All right, and also right here, you have a little park on your right-hand side. It's called Holyoke Park. And behind is woods. You can see the woods very easily. The woods are called the Holyoke Woods. Has 5 years ago, they're now owned by Holyoke, and they made a trail system through there. There was a backbone of trail system. They made many more. A youth group made the trails in there, and they purchased a couple of years ago even more land out there. And so the reason why you want a migration of animals to take place with ease, and with Mount Tom Reservation, Mount Tom itself, White Street Reservoir, the East Mountain, and these buys by the Holyoke Woods, you now have the ability to get from northern Holyoke on a mountain system the whole way until you get to the end of East Mountain and near Ashley Reservoir. The migratory animal system is working. There's also a trail called the Monadnock Trail in there. So they're adding trails to reach up to it. And so this whole system is incredible. And we have one more place to look at along here. Now, some of these homes are modern homes put in the last 70 years. The side streets have a lot of modern homes. But once in a while, you meet a very old house. At the very end of this road is the Dank's house. We won't go out that far. But that's the great beauty of coming out here. You get to see things that are extremely old and see things that are extremely new. Okay, this is our last step. It's closed up, but this is called Forestdale West. Right? You see the visiting hours are put out here, and this is a nice place to go because it looks very modern, and most of them is. But the first burial took place here 50 years ago. A little boy, the cemetery, Forestdale Cemetery, convinced the family to bury their son out here for free. And that allowed them to call this a cemetery, even though he is the only burial here for 30 years. Can you imagine a little trivial fact? And I'm going to do a tour out here someday. I'm going to give a video tour out here, but at least you get to see where it is. The gate says Forestdale Cemetery West. Okay, so that's the end of our tour out here. Thanks for coming out to the Rock Valley.